Hello everybody, you're very welcome to Donnybrook and this latest innovation in the short-lived life so far of Bective Rangers TV. We're producing a series of short interviews, colloquially known at the moment as Chuck's Chats, with some key influencers and decision makers within your club, just to get an insight and some inside knowledge as to what they're doing in the club and how they see the club going forward. And I suppose what better way to start this series with our very first interview, a maiden interview, by leading with our newly elected president, Mick Shalloe. Mick, congratulations, you've finally escaped purgatory and ascended into heaven as the 104th president of Bective.
Thank you, Chuck. It's a great honour indeed, and I'm very honoured to be the guinea pig for your first chat. I'm really looking forward to seeing your live broadcasts of the Bective games during the season.
You and me both, mate. Look, this is a great honour. It's a great honour for the Shalloe family, who are steeped in the history of Bective. Your dad, Shanty, Brian, Mark, yourself, Dave. Am I missing any? Ronan, okay, haven't met him.
And the moral support from Cathy, of course.
Of course, so there's a lot of Shalloes. You're like the Corleone family of Bective. It's a great honour for you, and also, in many respects, a great honour for CBC Monkstown as well.
Absolutely. Chuck, I've been coming down to Bective since, I think as a kid in the mid-70s to support Declan when he was playing for the senior team. I've been a part of Bective ever since. I played with all 6 of my brothers at various stages during the club, so yeah, absolutely massive. It's a great honour indeed.
And your dad would be very proud as well at this moment. Second son to be president of the club. I mean, your dad, a good Waterford man, right? There's a good few of us here within Bective, and he was always very good to me. He'd be delighted if he was here. It's a great honour.
Absolutely, I think he'd be chuffed. My dad, he loved Bective, and Bective was very good to him in his latter years when he was ill, so yeah, I think he'd be chuffed.
And I assume as well on the domestic front, you kissed Maria goodbye and said, I'll see you about the end of June. You know, the dinner circuit, I believe, is a bit grueling. You'll probably have to leave the new Louis Copeland blazer in the boot of your car. You're going to be a busy man this year.
McGee's won't be happy with that. It's actually McGee's jacket. But yeah, I was a bit worried actually. Maria seemed very happy when I was heading off for my year venture. But no, she's a great supporter of Bective, and she's delighted to support me, I think, as president. But no, she's very happy.
Yeah, she's probably delighted to get you out of the house for a bit of alone time. And from Brian, who was our president, your brother Brian, who was our president, I think it was 9 years ago. Any tips, any advice from Brian now that you're involved in business together as well?
Yeah, no, Brian, I spoke to Brian, of course, about this, and Brian's advice is just go and enjoy your year. You got great support behind you. Do your best to represent your club as best you can.
Yeah, and Brian, of course, another CBC Monkstown alumnus. Is there a way in your presidency and what's happened before for us to kind of further that link and align more closely with Monkstown as maybe a feeder school for Bective?
Absolutely, I'll do my best with my connections there. And actually, interestingly, they had a fundraiser for a golf outing for their rugby fundraising 2 weeks ago, so I managed to be in the winning team of that. So, but I'll work, we got Weewa, who's got the sons involved in CBC and working closely with them, so yeah, absolutely, we'll explore all opportunities, and there's a great CBC tradition in Bective. Excellent.
Look, it's a big job being president of any rugby club, never mind one steeped in 142 years of history. Yeah. It's a big job. Can it be overwhelming, or could it possibly be a bit overwhelming and overawing, if that's a word?
Certainly, yeah. It is a bit overawing. There's obviously a bit of anxiety when you come into a role like this, but then when you work with an excellent chairman and an excellent executive committee, it makes life a lot easier. Correct.
They always say a good general surrounds himself with able lieutenants and has confidence in their ability to let them at it. So, good man. Big footsteps to follow. We've had 5 IRFU presidents in the history of Bective, 3 of them in the last 40 years. Now, I'm not tipping you for president of the union, but big boots to fill.
Slight problem there, Chuck. I think all those guys went through the Leinster rugby route. I'm a Munster supporter. I don't think I'll get in there.
Good man. You're going well. We like you. So what are you looking forward to most, Mick, in your presidential year?
Well, certainly on the rugby front, I'm looking forward to continued success across all our teams. We had a great year last year. Our seconds winning the Leinster Cup for the 3rd year in a row, our first winning the Leinster Senior Cup for second year in a row. Our under 18s 0.5, and our youths did very well. Our minis are thriving. So really looking forward to the further success on the rugby field. But off the pitch, I just want to try and get to know as many of the members as I can. I want to support all the volunteers in the club, and we want to increase our membership as we did last year. We want to welcome more people in.
Okay. So is the game plan kind of steady as she goes? Don't mess up on my watch for the year, or kind of without getting all linked in on you? Is there, what sort of innovation do you want to bring to your year? What's your USP, do you think, for the season ahead?
I think just to work continually with the strong exec. There's a lot of stuff going on in the club at the moment, as we'll speak about soon, but really to be a support to everybody around the place. And we really want to welcome more people in the community, people bringing their friends and family. And what's very important to me, Chuck, is when people walk out the doors of this club, whether it's players, members, friends, family, I want them to have a smile on their face, enjoy the experience.
I think they do for many years. I mean, there's a lot of people have a grow for this club that aren't members, but continually coming back. But you're right, it's probably the lapsed members that we need to go after to try and get them back in. Okay, we have new title sponsors, new main sponsors for the team this year. Snow Technologies, talk us through that.
We're delighted to welcome Snow Technologies as our main sponsor, and we thank their CEO Gary Corcoran for introducing them to the club. Snow Technology, they're leading providers and developers of payroll software in Ireland, so big name. It's great to have a big name associated with us. Okay,
and it's good that while we have a principal sponsor, we also have 12 other sponsors. Now, I'm good, but I'm not going to remember them all, so I actually wrote them down. We have Your Own Acid Recruitment, Manuel Alonso's Chronos Studio, Mick O'Carroll's Mola Architecture, Peter McGee's Mason Wealth Managers, Nearly's Pub in Chatham Street, Owen O'Neill Property Advisors, AIB Asset Managers, Mason Hayes and Curran Solicitors, Glenn Fuels, the Panel Recruitment Consultancy, One Page CRM, and Tom Houlihan Orthodontics. That's a fair stable of people who are willing to invest in our club. It shows a lot of confidence in us, Mick.
It's fantastic. And if you look back, over the last number of years here, I was involved in this club back in 2008 when you could not get a sponsor. We went through around 10 years where we were just almost begging for sponsors. So it's a fantastic position to be in, and thank you to all our sponsors and all future sponsors. Bring your friends, your clients down. You'll have a great time.
Correct. Look, there's been fantastic work here behind the scenes over the last 12 months. Could you talk us through the renovations that happened this summer? I mean, I know some of them because I've been here, but there's a lot of people who wouldn't have been here since last April, and a lot of innovation has happened. You talk us through what we've done with the clubhouse and the facilities?
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and it's very exciting times for the club. What started off 6 months ago as a project to put in a new roof, which was falling through, and a few new windows. It really grew legs, and we've ended up renovating the whole clubhouse. So when people walk back in here, we've kept our old tradition, our fireplace. When you see the photos on the wall, not a lot of change, but my God, it's a great facility now. And we had to be grateful to National Lottery for substantial grant to provide us, also to Bective Tennis Club, to Bective Tennis Club for their support and contribution. Also, to mention a few names amongst the many, special thanks has to go out to Paddy O'Brien, Jim Oliver, John Bulger, Michael O'Carroll, who really did a huge amount of work.
Brian Cavan, I believe, will want the old mention, yes.
If there's any other names to mention, or I haven't, apologies, but I'll get around to you during the season. But yeah, the volunteers just got together, and it's been fantastic.
I mean, it looks great, Mick. It's not quite there yet, but we will be on track for our first match on the 16th. I mean, the new floor-to-ceiling windows in the function room are fantastic. New floors laid. Moon room stays as it is. As you said, the fire stays in the President's Bar, but we've now got big bay windows in the old bar, the regular bar, and also new flooring throughout. Like, it looks fantastic.
Look, we're delighted. So, anyone who hasn't been in yet, come on in, have a cup of tea or something stronger.
Mark and Sharon will look after you.
Absolutely. And look, we've got a great bar team managed by Mark O'Brien and supported by Sharon. So, it's a very, very warm welcome here.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a family club. This is a family club. We need to get, obviously, we've got the minis in, and we'll come to that shortly. But it's getting people to feel comfortable to come down here with their kids and families. families, wives, girls, everything. There's a good family atmosphere. It's very welcoming. Look, there was a lot of innovation has happened, but there's a lot more, I think, in the pipeline between the seeding programme and then the harvest that came up with the results in April. What's planned for the rest of this season?
Well, this season we're just about to complete our strategic 5-year plan for the future of Bective. In fact, we've got our final gathering of all the teams here tomorrow night, but we've basically, in fact, 6 teams looking after 6 different areas: rugby ambition, clubhouse development, finance stroke sponsorship, governance, which is very important, obviously, branding, and community. So we have a big community out here we need to tap into.
And how do you think you'll manage? That's a lot of change, Mick, let's be honest. So that's going to be a challenge to manage change. I mean, human beings by their nature, men in particular, are highly resistant to change. How do you feel you're going to bring everybody along with you and implement all that change?
Okay, well, I think the feedback so far is fantastic, very good all around, but you're not going to please all the people all of the time. And as Jimmy White would say, you can't judge a half-baked cake.
And as always, Mick, I mean, ultimately, while we're a great community club here, it's all about the rugby. The AIL is obviously still the goal for this season.
Absolutely. I'm very, very excited, but obviously nervous about the season ahead. We've been here before where we've won 2 previous Leinster finals but failed against 2 Ulster teams, so hopefully this year we'll go all the way. There's a great atmosphere amongst the team. They're a great bunch of players. It's a testament that our retention is so high. We only lost 1 player last year. That was our captain, Byrne, as he moved to the Middle East.
Colin Jackson.
Jacko.
Yeah, Jacko, who's gone travelling for the year.
Absolutely. Yeah. So apologies, Colin. But there's been under the great captaincy of Matty Keane and leadership of Byrne and his coaching and management staff, they've attracted more players in. We've new guys walking through the gates, so we welcome them with we welcome them with open arms.
Okay. And the minis, I mean, it all starts with the kids. George Benson in the 70s. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. We've got a fantastic minis here, oversubscribed, probably the biggest in Dublin, I would think.
I think so, and isn't it great that we got 3 guys in the World Cup who were ex-Bective minis, and Johnny Sexton and Dan Sheehan, and I think it was Ronan Kelleher, wasn't it?
Correct, yes.
Yeah, so great testament, and all the hard work that goes on behind the scenes with the minis. It's a huge gig here on Sunday. It's great fun. Brilliant volunteers. I mean, the amount of work they put into it to run it, and under that leadership of with Richie Mabry and Aoife Mabry, it's phenomenal.
And the frustration, of course, in prior years always with the minis was we get them and we shape them until we're 12, and then we give them to the big rugby schools. But the advent of the under 18 and a half winning the Metro Cup last year, more or less with a scratch team, that's fantastic. It's ultimately leading to us having an under 20s team for the first time in a number of years this season.
Absolutely, and again, great credit to Emma Sheridan and Lisa Rewall Power, for their stalwart work, and that was a fantastic 18.5, under 18.5, but wow, it's fantastic, exciting rugby to watch, and what a win against a very strong Barnhall team. So we really hope to get all these guys back,
and hopefully it will make kids in the schools start looking at Bective again as a viable option. Particularly, there's a lot of people come up from the country. I'm from the country myself, and there's a good country connection here. We do need to leverage that.
Absolutely, and I think back in the days, myself, CBC Monkstown, we had kids from all the schools around locally and great ties. But we're very much a good cosmopolitan club. Lots of country lads, lots of international players here, and lots of locals from all local schools. So everyone's welcome here.
And finally, Mick, we're losing the light here. New season starts this weekend. What's your message to the members, but also in many ways to lapsed members? There's so many people who are watching the matches now on YouTube or following us on social media, but haven't been here for a number of years. I was a lapsed member myself. What's your member to them to draw, your message to them maybe to try and get them to re-engage with us?
is just come back down and try it out. You won't leave and you come back down again. It's it's good rugby, it's good crack, very welcoming. Come join us. We're going to enjoy our future. So come join the ride.
Okay, lovely talking to you. Thanks for being our first interviewee on Bective Rangers TV, the first of many, we hope. And best of luck, Mick, for your presidency.
Thank you very much, John.
Thanks.
Cheers.
And that's a wrap.